Hey, how you doing? Thanks for downloading the show. Welcome to GardenFork Radio. It's me, Eric, your host. I have a podcast and a YouTube channel about what I call eclectic DIY. Today, we're going to talk about exercise routines, screwing heavy things to the wall, and anything else Nicole wants to talk about. Welcome, Nicole.
Hey, how's it going?
I have no complaints.
Okay, that's good. I have a good friend who, his response to that is, life is not a burden for us.
Exactly.
You know?
Above ground's pretty good.
Exactly, right? Yeah, totally. All right, I want to hear about your new exercise system. I got the email and I got the picture in the email of it would have been better if it was you exercising, but it was maybe the YouTube screenshot of the new exercise people.
Yeah.
Tell me about them.
So I do have depression, and I've had it since I was a teenager, I think, and I've tried various remedies, but some days I just wake up and I know I don't feel right, and my wife can actually tell immediately. And then my primary care physician, whose name is Eric, actually, he says, 30 minutes of aerobic exercise 3 times a week creates the same benefit as the starting dose of an antidepressant.
I quoted you about that this week to somebody.
And I've said that a million times in the show. So the problem for me is, as we all know, is if it's not written down, if I'm not told what to do, I don't do it. It's very hard for me to be self-motivated. And I've discovered...
Wait, can I stop you right there? That is just a story you're telling yourself. You're clearly self-motivated, Eric. You do all kinds of stuff all of the time.
I never get anything done, though.
I've yelled that at the computer a lot when I've been listening.
Okay. Well, anyway, instead of going to the gym, with the pandemic, the gym became a non-starter. And also the gym near me, the people just aren't friendly. And yeah. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Or hey, could you put your phone down and exercise? Because they're sitting on the bench press or the chest press or whatever it is, and they're just looking at their phone. And I'm like, you could get up between your reps and let someone else use that. So long story short, I discovered resistance bands with James Gage is his name. I'll link to all this. And then he was a little too buff and giant bicep for me. And then I found a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel. Then a YouTube channel called Achieve Peak, ACHV Peak. And I did resistance bands with them, and I liked it. And then the guy got a little too bicep-y for me, and
right.
I think I might go back because it seems like they've changed that up a little bit. But then I came across a YouTube channel by a couple, Coach Kozak and Claudia, and it's called HasFit, HASFIT, Heart and Soul Fitness, HasFit. And they have an app. So you can, I could go to any YouTube channel I want and, maybe I'll do one of these videos. But their app is $50 for the year, which is cheaper than a half hour of a trainer,
Right.
And they have all these different workout routines, and it's a 30-day workout routine. And it's not glamorous. It's just day one. Click here. Right. And it's one of their videos, but it's within the app. And I sent you a picture of my TV setup now. I have a big TV in the basement here with an Apple TV. So I use AirPlay on the iPad and the Apple TV the app plays on my big TV. They talk constantly while doing the exercise, which is very important for me. The exercises, you can either use hand weights or water bottles or no weights at all. And each day I'm told what to do, and I love it, and I feel so much better.
And how long are their thing? How long is each session?
Their videos go for 20 to 40 minutes.
Okay, and so you just, whatever, you're like, okay, it's exercise time. I go down, I turn it on, I click the link, I do whatever they say. I'm done.
Yeah. And they're just so relatable and approachable. So, and I just literally, that's why I had to say I was going to be a few minutes. I had to go take a shower because I was just sweating. And I only use the water bottles.
Okay, so years ago, there was an Italian study. You and Rick maybe even talked about this. that they can predict your mortality based on whether you can get up off of the floor without your hands.
Oh.
And I'll find the study so you can link to it. It's fascinating. And then, if you use one hand, it doesn't matter how you get up, but you have to be able to get off the floor without using your hands. And I heard that study and I realized, that wasn't going very well for me. So we found a personal trainer. We worked with Steve for 3 years. He came every Sunday morning. Instead of going to church, Steve came. He dealt with our children messing around. And he used all resistance, like bands, like you were saying. And he wasn't super buff. Like his point was functional movement, which is what we needed. And that was kind of our gateway. And then just before the pandemic, we were like, okay, Steve, we're good. Like Brent uses this Australian app, the same kind of thing that you're talking about. It's a little too advanced for him, but it's good because it challenges him. Mm-hmm. And he's done that for a long time. So we're like, Steve, we're good. You kind of got our ball rolling. We're good. And then the pandemic happened and I didn't do anything. Like I literally sat, we have a red chair. Yeah, we had a red chair in my front room and I had to teach the kids, it was online school. Did you ever watch Battlestar Galactica?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the episode where they have to jump every 7 minutes?
No, but that's crazy.
They do it every 7 minutes and it's in real time and it's like the most stressful hour of TV ever. That was my life. I was just like constantly every 30 minutes, who had to go to class, who had to get online. So I would sit in this chair with a coffee, staring at my children, staring at their screens, waiting for something to happen. And I realized like I was actually starting to lose it. And one of my friends who's an ultra marathoner, like she does 100 miles. She did a challenge after the young man in Atlanta was killed.
Right.
To go 2.23 miles a day running. And I was like, okay, 2.23 miles, I can do that, right? I can do that a day. I did it for a day for like 300 days. And that saved me.
Wow.
To your point of like the mental health takes me about, somewhere between 40 and 60 minutes, right? Longer when I started, less now. And I realized from that what a lot of my friends realized a long time ago, that you have to exercise every day.
Yes.
Like, it's just, I had thought it was optional. Like, I don't feel like it today. And I don't feel like it 2 days. And I don't feel like it 6. And yeah, so highly recommended. And like I have to take, when Trump was elected, I know we're not political, but my blood pressure went through the roof. And since then I've had to take a blood pressure medicine.
Wow.
And this has so helped it. I mean, it really, it's a really amazing exercise is amazing.
Yeah, you can, we're acolytes.
Right.
And
I know it's totally.
And it's not hard. You just start small. You can, if this is going to be a tangent-filled show, but my senior English literature teacher was Dr. Paul Hirth in my senior high school. Dr. Paul Hirth. If anyone knows where he is, I would love to talk to him. And his whole thing was if you took the test, the worst you could do is get a D. Even if you just put your name on the test and handed it in, the worst you could get was a D because you at least tried. You took the test paper in your hand and you tried. And I think the same applies to exercise. If you do 5 minutes, well, that's 5 minutes more than you had before.
Right. Yeah. My sister made fun of us for getting the trainer once a week. But I was like, Erica, we're doing it once a week for sure.
Right. There's an accountability there. They're like, it's kind of like when I go to the dentist, I'm like, oh, I think a lot of people floss the last day before they go to the dentist. I floss every day, but I'm like, my accountability is that if I don't floss the correct way, which is back and forth and up and down, they're going to call me out on it. So
I know. I do not like getting in trouble.
Right. Same here.
Yeah. If
Are you the middle child?
No, I'm an oldest. I'm so an oldest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, totally an oldest.
So there's nothing wrong with having a trainer. There's nothing wrong with someone starting you out. I love the YouTube channels, but what the app does for me, the HasFit app, is it gives me a list. I don't have to scroll around and go, no, I don't want to do that one. No, I want to do a short one. Let me find short. It just says you're doing this one. And I'm like, okay, go.
I think that's why people like the Peloton. We did get a stationary bike during the pandemic, not a Peloton. We just got a stationary bike and put an iPad screen on it. And I think that's what people like about it is like, I just do the Peloton every day, whatever they tell me to do at this time of day.
I do, because I have a stationary bike, which I love. It's a Schwinn, and it was really inexpensive. I'll link to it, of course, on Amazon. I'll also link to it on Walmart and that. But after I work out, sometimes I want to keep the burn going, keep the aerobic. And I love to watch YouTube videos, but I only reward myself. I need to accomplish something before I let myself watch YouTube. So I just put the iPad on the Schwinn pedal bike here, and I just pedal for 30 minutes and watch YouTube, and I feel better. Wow.
Okay.
I feel great.
Well, let's talk about your setup and how you got these things. It looks like the setup you have is the Alpha setup.
It is. So I have a video on the YouTube channel about how to hang a TV on a drywall or sheetrock wall that has wooden studs. And it could also have metal studs. It's an older video. I would re-edit it if I could. I would relight it if I could. But it's the kind where it has like a really wide bracket that mounts on the wall. And it's kind of a heavier, older... Of course, I get all my TVs for free because my friends buy big TVs and they give me the little ones. But this was my exercise TV. And then I have an Apple TV box duct taped to the top of it. And the Apple TV has the YouTube channel, so you can scroll through and find your HasFit guys. But underneath it, I had just dumped all my exercise equipment, like the dumbbells, and I have a yoga roller, and I have some yoga blocks, and it's just on the floor, which drives me nuts because I have to vacuum, and then I have to pick all that up, and there's this weird part of me that wants to be organized. So what I love about New York is that if people don't want something, they just put it out on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah, that happens in DC too. I love it.
My neighbor put out, I think it's Rubbermaid rather than Alpha, but it's the wire shelving that's covered in rubber or it's painted white.
Yeah.
And the accompanying uprights and the shelf brackets. It's like $100 worth of shelving.
Yeah, more than that. I mean, that's a nice set.
So I've just put that on the wall under the TV with a video that I made. I shot the whole video on my iPhone, and I used what are called togglers to put it on. And it would only take 10 minutes unless I made a video about it. But we could talk about mounting stuff on the wall like your exercise TV and your exercise shelf, because you were asking me about this.
Well, because I've installed numerous Alpha systems in different homes. And like one I did in the brick in our old apartment. And that was an undertaking because I had to learn like about the right drill bit and then get the right drill and yada, yada, yada. But I did it. But then I've also put it in drywall, like in my boy's bedroom. And they have like an anchor. Mm-hmm. And then like apparently when you put it into the wall and then you put the screw in it, it maybe butterflies out behind the drywall.
Exactly.
Okay. So why won't that work for the TV? That was my question.
Well, I have two how to mount a TV on the wall videos. This older one is with a wide bracket. The bracket's about 18 inches, 20 inches wide. The video that you just watched is at my sister's house to put an exercise TV so she can do HasFit videos too, is a single point mount with an articulated arm. And if you have a wide mount, you can put 4 or 6 screws in with drywall butterfly anchors or toggle bolts, and it will distribute the load over that. And more than likely, if it's a 20-inch wide bracket, studs in modern homes are 16 inches apart. So there's a stud somewhere on that bracket.
Okay. That
you can drill into. If you have a smaller TV, you don't even need to do that. But the wider bracket allows you to distribute the weight on the wall, as opposed to the single point, which only had 2 bolt holes. I had to find the stud, but that's what my sister wanted. And it worked out really
Okay,
well.
so that makes sense. So it's not able to distribute the weight, so that's why you have to find the stud.
And I love these new style of toggle bolts. I think they're called togglers. I will link to them. Oh, I just got a visitor here, yellow Labrador. And they traditional toggle bolts look like a cocktail umbrella that you shove into the wall and it springs back out, and they can be a little clunky to use. These togglers are so simple. I love them.
Okay.
I tell all my friends about them, and they're even easier than the alpha bolts that butterfly out. And they can hold a ton of weight. So that's what I used for the alpha shelving. And then I put my dumbbells on the shelving to see how much weight it would hold. And it didn't fall off the wall. So,
Well, I have my kids in their bedroom. I mean, they've got 5 shelves, I mean, of toys each.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I hope they don't fall.
would you be interested in kind of getting some behind the scenes photos and thoughts and just that kind of stuff that I don't really feel comfortable putting out on social media, but I still want to share with like the GardenFork crew? You can do that if you want to become a patron of GardenFork. That's a really easy thing to do. I ask for $5 a month if you want to support the show here and also the videos. That's like a fancy cup of coffee a month, you know? What do you think? In return, I post, basically if I take a picture of something, I'm like, oh, maybe the patrons be interested. I post it to the app. You also get an email as well with a picture of it. Or if I do a little recording, all the after shows that we do on GardenFork Radio, just the behind the scenes stuff and knowing that you're kind of like the Medici family to me. You are making this all happen, which I really appreciate. So more information about that is in the show notes below, or go to patreon.com/GardenFork. All right.
Well, all the kids these days are moving away from YouTube to
Yes.
Instagram.
Yep.
And I am obsessed with Instagram renovation people. So there's a couple in Dunnan in Scotland, I think, that inadvertently bought a chateau that was falling down when they thought they were buying an apartment in Glasgow. And for the last 2 years, they've been rebuilding it themselves. I love these people. What have we done in? Sometimes I wish that you had the Instagram videos. I would follow those.
I don't know. I've actually really kind of dialed back my social media presence.
Right? I know. I have everybody hidden on Facebook, as you know.
Yes, I've been doing
We're
that.
like, oh, we had a baby. And I'll be like, oh, sorry. You should have told me.
No,
Sorry,
I just
I missed
the whack quotient is too high for me.
Well,
But anyway.
that's why I don't watch the YouTube. My brother sends me YouTube videos all the time. And I'm like, here, watch this one guy's video. This is all I watch on YouTube. Here's the GardenFork, okay?
It is interesting. The YouTube algorithm suggests videos for me which are fake news, and I find
Oh my
that
God.
troubling.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah, but I put regular old standard pictures on Instagram, and what I'm going to start doing, because Libsyn, my podcast host, offers it, is you can put a little clip of your podcast and throw some video behind it, and they have some pre-made templates, and then you can upload that, and you can also give it to your guest who was on the show, and they will hopefully post it to their Instagram feed as well, and it kind of has a little bit of an organic effect going, oh, there's this podcast I don't know about.
Right, yeah, that's really, and I totally listen to those. I'm pretty curated with my Instagram. I have, there's another guy, I have no idea how old he is. And in fact, he's kind of like you. The camera operator is never, finally I was like, how are you taking all these pictures? He's like, oh yeah, my partner takes them. She's never on.
Right.
But he's redoing, again, like a chateau somewhere in England. Oh, and then there's a fun couple in Michigan who would totally your people, our people, Rademacher and he redoes everything himself. Bought an Italianate like home. He's like in Michigan someplace.
Oh, I think I ran across him once on Instagram.
Yeah. And he and his wife are super cute, and they've got 2 little kids, and he redoes everything himself. And I remember in their last house, he was putting in the window that was like, it was one of these like mansions in an old town, that had fallen into disrepair, and he was just redoing it room by room. This window must have been 5 feet across. Wow. And he only wears flip-flops when he does his work.
Oops.
No, he's never had, no, he's totally like, he's like, I know I'm crazy. Please stop talking to me about it. I'm not changing. And he put that window in. It was like the most stressful TV I'd watched in years. Even though I knew he was going to get it in, Anyway, that's my Instagram porn.
I actually, since we're on Instagram, I follow SpaceX and a couple space-related ones, and I'll list those out in the show here. But one of them is a guy who just curates beautiful pictures of like rockets going up and stuff like that.
Ooh, fun. I like that. I also like deep sea fish. There's a Russian guy who is on a Russian trawler, and he pulls up the craziest stuff. And then NOAA has... they have the actual submersible videos, so you can see the different squids and all the random stuff.
NOAA, the federal agency?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
See, government does good things.
Government does great things.
Hey, okay. Look at this big fish.
I know. Back to the space stuff, though. How annoying was it that he didn't actually ride the bike? Did you see this?
Right. We're talking about the Virgin rocket ship guy.
Branson.
Right, Richard Branson. So the idea was with the video of him getting into this tourist rocket was he rode his bike to the launch site, and they finally admitted that they had shot that the day before or something.
Well, and I posted it to my DC Family Biking Facebook page. I was like, hey, like kind of like, oh, this is great, and then you find out it's fake, and you're just like, eye roll.
Yeah, there's nothing fake on GardenFork. I don't go back and reshoot things the day after. You're
totally like, if you don't like it, you just don't post it. Like, let's go back to like unposted videos.
Yeah, I've taken some down.
Oh, you've taken them down? Yeah, things get old.
I cut down a tree once, and I didn't do exactly the right kind of cut, and somebody said, you're going to get someone killed this way. And I was like, oh. And it's just a tree coming down, so I deleted it.
Whatever. That's fine. I'll delete that.
I'm going to my friend's house on Tuesday to cut some trees that are leaning toward his house, and I'm like, I don't know if we can do this. But I told him I'd look at it, so.
All right. Are you going to make a video?
Yeah. Okay, I mean, if they're like 1 foot in diameter, it's easy. If they're 2 foot in diameter, it's another story.
Yeah, I'm from Montana originally, and that was like not a uncommon thing was for somebody's dad to die.
Yes. Yeah, they're called widowmakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, can you give us a quick canoe update?
Yeah, I'm going to go buy some fiberglass and fix it. Because yesterday I was like, oh, Nicole's going to ask me about the darn canoe. Here's my problem. You know these shelves that I put up for the exercise and the exercise TV? I've had them for 4 months. And I'm always like, oh, I want to put those up, but I want to make a video about it. So I don't do it because making a video takes 3 times longer than actually doing the project. Okay,
so look, I've got systems for you, but the most important thing is an action forcing event, right? You knew you were going to talk to me, so you went and you're going to buy the fiberglass stuff, right? Like whenever we have a party at our house, my house gets totally cleaned up.
Right.
The party is the action forcing event. So I don't know what the action forcing event was like. You probably wanted to test out putting this up before you did it at your sister's. Is that what the action forcing event was?
No, with the shelving.
Yeah.
I felt really horrible yesterday. And I know when I feel really horrible, one of the things that will click me back out of it is if I go make a video.
Oh, so, okay, that's an action forcing event, right? Like you felt bad and you were able to motivate enough. So you just put this up today?
I put it up yesterday.
Oh, God, it looks so good. I thought you'd had it up for months.
No, I felt really bad. And I just was like, you'd be surprised how many GardenFork videos are shot with me actually being a train wreck.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. God.
Well, I just figure if I talk about it, maybe it might help people.
That's true. That is so true. I mean, we all need the kids these days are way more woke. I'm in the last day. Today's the last day of I'm in the LA review of books publishing workshop. And so it's been 5 weeks full time on LA time. So it's from noon until 6 every day, learning about publishing because I think I want to start my own imprint.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, the kids these days way more woke. I have hope because these kids are they're thinking about mental health, all of this stuff way more than we were.
Yay. Good for them. Good for us because they're going to ones taking care of us when we're drooling later in life. The other thing about the exercise is the older people I know are the ones that are in, they move around. They don't just sit in a chair. Yep.
Your bed is not your friend. That's what we used to tell my Grammy.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the lazy boy, you're going to die in that. So get up. Press the up button in your lazy boy.
Look, I sat in my lazy boy adjacent mid-century modern chair for 3 months and I can attest. You do not want to sit down for that long.
So last time you were on, we were talking about you going to the quarry and getting your bluestone. And now whenever I see that one of those giant IKEA blue carrying bags, I think of you with bluestone.
I need more. And we were driving up near the quarry for some reason the other day. Oh, I was going up to get my breast MRI that I have to get every few months, once a year. And I said to my husband, I'd already taken the Xanax because I have to take an MRI and I that's very stressful for me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, honey, can we just stop off? I need some more of those bluestones. And he was like, you're loopy, lady. We're not stopping for bluestones.
That's going to be my excuse with the canoe. Oh, I took too many Xanax. And
I know. Well, I had a bad experience. And because of it, I have claustrophobia now.
Yeah.
The radiologist patted my back as they were sliding me into the machine. And the tech was like, why are you doing that? And he said, oh, I'm just trying to make sure she fits.
Oh.
And that just flipped a switch in my brain. And I was like, get me out of here.
Sorry.
So I go to the big one. I have a whole system. I go to the big one. I take the Xanax. But some people apparently can tolerate Xanax and live their lives. I take a Xanax and I'm out the whole rest of the day. I mean, it's like Brent has to take a sick day. I'm done.
That's kind of like when I donate blood. I'm wiped for the day.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm going to try. I'm donating blood on the 8th. RedCrossBlood.org, everyone. And
yeah, definitely. I mean, we're one crisis away from complete implosion of our blood
supply.
Yeah.
But I usually know they give you apple juice or orange juice or a mix, some cookies. I'm going to bring my own Gatorade this time and see if that helps. Because Gatorade really helps with a hangover. And after I give blood, I feel like I have a hangover. So.
Huh. Okay.
Wow. We've been all over the place here. We started talking about exercise and then we moved on to Xanax.
We've moved on to blood donation.
All right. Nicole, thank you so much. Nicole's going to stick around. We're going to do the bonus episode for the patrons, which you listen to because you are a patron.
Yeah, I totally listen to them. I wish I could listen to them on double speed like I listen to the podcast, but...
Oh, the Patreon app doesn't allow that.
No, it doesn't.
Well, we'll just talk really fast.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, everyone, let us know what you think. It's radio@gardenfork.tv, radio@gardenfork.tv. Go out and do cool stuff and make it a great day. Garden Fork Radio is produced by GardenFork Media, LLC in Brooklyn, New York. Our producer is Sean O'Neill. If you need an amazing podcast producer, visit Sean's site, SeanInBrooklyn.com. That's Sean, SEAN, in Brooklyn.com. Our executive producer is Jimmy Goose. For more information about Jimmy and the custom hollow books he makes, visit hollowbooks.com. The music in the show is licensed from audioblocks.com and uniquetracks.com.